हेलो एस्पिरेंट्स, अ वेरी वार्म वेलकम टू ऑल ऑफ यू। बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका इजी लॉ चैनल के ऊपर। तो होप आप सबने प्रीवियस वीडियोस भी देखी होंगी, उसी को आज हम कंटिन्यू करने लगे हैं। सो एविडेंस के ही एमसीक्यू हम लोग कर रहे हैं। सो एज आवर मोटो, एज आवर प्रिंसिपल, कि विदाउट वेस्टेज ऑफ टाइम लेट्स बिगिन विद आवर फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन। Which of the following section of the Indian Evidence Act does not apply to interrogations by a custom officer exercising power under section 171A of the Sea Custom Act? चलिए करेक्ट ऑप्शन दीजिए, आंसर दीजिए इसका कि विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग सेक्शन ऑफ द इंडियन एविडेंस एक्ट डज नॉट अप्लाई टू इंटेरोगेशंस बाय अ कस्टम ऑफिसर एक्सरसाइजिंग पावर अंडर सेक्शन 171 ए ऑफ सी कस्टम एक्ट। थोड़ा सा घुमा के है लेकिन एविडेंस एक्ट से ही रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन है। आप होप आप सब अच्छी तरह इसका आंसर देंगे। सो करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज ऑप्शन नंबर बी। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, which of the following section prescribes the method by which signature can be proved? सेक्शन 45, सेक्शन 46, सेक्शन 47, बोथ ए एंड बी। चलिए करेक्ट ऑप्शन दीजिए इसका। सो होप आप सब करेक्ट ऑप्शन दिया होगा आप सबने। सो इसका है ऑप्शन नंबर ए एंड बी। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, which of the following is true as of the effects of the admissions? An admission constitutes a substantive piece of evidence in the case and for that reason can be relied upon for proving the truth of the facts incorporated therein. An admission has the effect of shifting the onus of proving to the contrary on the party against whom it is produced, within the result that it casts an imperative duty on such party to explain it. In the absence of a satisfactory explanation, it is presumed to true. An admission, in order to be competent and to have the value and effect referred to above, should be clear, certain, and definite, and not ambiguous, vague, and to be true. And D, all of the above. चलिए करेक्ट ऑप्शन दीजिए इसका। करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज ऑप्शन नंबर डी, सारे ही ठीक। Next question, an attesting witness is one who signs his name to an instrument at the request of the party or parties for the purpose of proving or identifying it. A witness who has attested the document. C, both A and B, and D, none of the। चलिए करेक्ट ऑप्शन दीजिए, सिंपल क्वेश्चन है, ऑप्शन नंबर सी, बोथ ए एंड बी। A intentionally and falsely leads B to believe that certain land belongs to A and thereby induces B to buy and pay for it. The land afterwards becomes the property of A and A seeks to set aside the sale on the ground that at the time of the sale he had no title. Applying section 115 Indian Evidence Act, he must be allowed to prove his want of title. He may be allowed to prove his want of title. He must not be allowed to prove his want of title, and D is none of the above. Illustration है, कोई ज़्यादा कोई बड़ी बात नहीं, जिसने अच्छी तरह डीपली पढ़ा होगा वो ऑप्शन उसका दे देगा। So it's C. He must not be allowed to prove his want of title. Next question. Admissible evidence is thus that which is relevant, not excluded by any rule of law or practice. C, either A or B. D, both A and B. Correct option दीजिए। इसका करेक्ट ऑप्शन है D, both A and B. Question number 7 is again से थोड़ा लेंदी है। A is accused of a crime committed by him at Calcutta. He produces a letter written by himself and dated at Lahore on that day and bearing the Lahore postmark of that day, applying section 21 Evidence Act. Which of the following is possible? The statement in the date of the letter is admissible because if A were dead, it would be admissible under section 27 clauses 2. The statement in the date of the letter is admissible because if A were dead, it would be admissible under section 29. The statement in the date of the letter is admissible because if A were dead, it would be admissible under section 32 clauses 2. The statement in the date of the letter is admissible because if A were dead, it would be admissible under section 34. चलिए करेक्ट ऑप्शन बताइए। तो आप सबने इसका आंसर दे दिया होगा। करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज ऑप्शन नंबर सी। A is tried for a riot and is proved to have marched at the head of a mob. Applying section 9 Evidence Act, the cries of the mob are irrelevant as it does not explain the nature. The cries of the mob are relevant as explanatory of the nature of the transaction, either A or B and none of the above. चलिए करेक्ट ऑप्शन दीजिए। बहुत ही easy question है। So correct option is option number B. The cries of the mob are relevant as explanatory of the nature of the transaction. A sculptor agrees to sell to B all my modes. A has both models and modeling tools अप्लाइंग सेक्शन 98 इंडियन एविडेंस एक्ट, पहले आप सब ये कमेंट से सेक्शन में बताइए सेक्शन 98 क्या कहता है। एविडेंस कैन नॉट बी गिवन टू शो विच ही मेंट टू सेल, एविडेंस नीडेड नॉट टू बी गिवन to show which he meant to sell, evidence may be given to show which he meant to sell and none of the above। चलिए 9th का सही बताइए। So correct option is C, evidence may be given to show which he meant to sell। Entry in the Monzavri register is admissible under 32, 35, 37, 39। बहुत ही सिंपल क्वेश्चन है, साफ पता लग रहा है। 35 नेक्स्ट यूनिवर्सल के लेफ्ट साइड पेज के ऊपर ही दिया गया और इसका पेज टर्न करेंगे पीछे 34 नीचे दिया है, 35 नेक्स्ट पे दिया है। ये पब्लिक सर्वेंट्स की बात करता है, वो प्राइवेट में आ जाता है। सेक्शन नंबर क्वेश्चन नंबर 11, in criminal cases under section 54 Indian Evidence Act to prove that the defendant committed the crime charged, evidence may not be given that he abhor a bad reputation in the community, has a disposition to commit crime of that kind, had no other occasions committed particular acts of the same class, evincing such disposition and he all of the above। चलिए 11th का करेक्ट बताइए। So correct option is D, all of the above। 12th, in which of the following cases did the court held that a party who produces witnesses in court produces them as a witness of truth, and simply because proportions of their statements are not favorable to the party producing them, they cannot be condemned as biased witness? Gyasuddin Khan versus State of Bihar, Lekhraj versus State of Gujarat, Gulabchand Ganbhiramal versus Kudilal Govindram Sidhkua versus Narcotics Control Bureau। चलिए 12th का बताइए। So 12th का करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज गुलाबचंद Ganbhiramal versus Kudilal Govindram। So question number 13, in which of the following proceedings of domestic tribunals and departmental inquiries the Indian Evidence Act is not applicable? Officers conducting departmental inquiries, departmental proceedings, disciplinary proceedings tribunal and D all of the above। चलिए 13th का आंसर बताइए। So correct option is all of the above। Officers conducting departmental inquiries, departmental proceedings, disciplinary proceedings tribunal। 14th, Proviso 1 to Section 33 Indian Evidence Act not only covers cases of privity in estate and succession of title but also cases where which of the following condition is met. The interest of the relevant party in the second proceeding is the subject matter of the first proceeding and is consistent with the and not antagonistic to the interest therein of the relevant party to the first proceeding. The interest of both in the answer to be given to particular question in an issue in the first proceeding is identical, either A or B or both A and B। So correct option is option number D, both A and B। Question number 15, relevancy of facts forming part of same transaction is dealt under which of the following sections of the Indian Evidence Act? Facts forming part of the same transaction, ये तो सिंपल क्वेश्चन है बिल्कुल, इसमें हम लोग टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करेंगे। इसका करेक्ट ऑप्शन है ऑप्शन नंबर बी, सेक्शन नंबर 6। Next question, question number 16, section 132 of the Indian Evidence Act does not apply to a statement made by a person during an investigation under 159, 161, 163 and 166। चलिए करेक्ट ऑप्शन बताइए। So correct option is 161 CRPC। Sometimes it become very lazy to mark the option, so like software भी काफी lazy मान जाता है बार बार। So question number 17, Section 31 Indian Evidence Act declares that admissions are not conclusive proof of the matters admitted, but they may operate as estoppel. Unless admissions are contractual or unless they constitute estoppel, they are not conclusive but are open, rebuttable or explanation, either A or B and D both A and B। चलिए करेक्ट ऑप्शन दीजिए। So correct option is D, both A and B। ध्यान से पढ़िएगा। Section 65 Indian Evidence Act, with which of the following situations under which secondary evidence can be given? When the original is shown or appears to be in possession and power of the person against whom the document is sought to be proved, when it is in possession or power of any person who is out of reach and not subject to the process of the court, when it is in the possession of any person legally bound to produce it but he fails to produce it after the notice mentioned in section 66 Indian Evidence Act is given to him, and D all of the above। चलिए सेक्शन 18 का बताइए, क्वेश्चन नंबर 18 का बताइए। Correct option is option number D, all of the above। Question number 19, the defense of alibi is best because if the accused was not there when the deceased was murdered, he could not have murdered her. Once the plea of alibi is raised, no other defense is open to the prosecution. It leaves room for no other defense for the accused and D none of the above। चलिए आंसर दीजिए। So correct option is option number A. If the deceased, एक second, let me mark. If the deceased was not there when the deceased was murdered, he could not have murdered her. So last question but not the least. Let's begin. An estate called the Rampur Tea Estate is sold by a deed which contains a map of the property sold. Like Section 692 Indian Evidence Act. The fact that land not included in the map had always been regarded as a part of the estate and was meant to pass by the deed not be approved. The fact that land not included in the map had always been regarded as a part of the estate and was meant to pass by the deed is irrelevant. The fact that land not included in the map had always been regarded as a part of the estate and was meant to pass by the deed cannot be proved and none of the above चलिए. This is the last but not the least. So hope आप सबने क्वेश्चन का आंसर दे दिया होगा. ऑप्शन नंबर सी. The fact that land not included in the map had always been regarded as a part of the state and was meant to pass by the deed cannot be proved. So thank you so much for today's class. होप आप सबको क्वेश्चन अच्छे लगे होंगे और आप सबने आंसर भी सारे दिए होंगे. आप अपना देखते रहिए कि 20 में से आप लोगों ने कितने स्कोर किए हैं. तो ये सब आप डेली का डेली मार्क करते रहिए और कमेंट सेक्शन में बताते रहिए. इससे क्या होगा कि आपको पता लगता रहेगा कि एविडेंस में आपका कितना स्कोर कितना आ रहा है. ठीक है. सो थैंक यू सो मच. See you in next video.